Foster care is a scary subject to discuss, but we need to do more for the children than the system is allowing. Home is supposed to be a safe haven full of love, happiness, and wonderful memories. This is not the case with many children facing the uncertainties of the foster care system. Reunification is not always the best answer. In fact, it can be the worst. Reunification is hurting our children. Almost half of the children, 48%, who are taken away from their biological parents are subjected to abuse and neglect within the first 3 years of reunification. 4.5 years after reunification, 14% of all children are found to be abused and neglected. 16% of children who are placed in the foster care system will be back after reunification. We had the great opportunity to interview 2 individuals on both sides of the foster care system. Taylor McPeters is a graduate of the Ohio Dominican University with a bachelor's degree in social work. She has worked in the foster care system with families for 5.5 years. When asked about the flaws in the system, she stated issues stem a lot from court delays and keeping kids without permissions, reunification, or adoption. For over the allotted time and sending kids too quickly to family because it costs less than foster care, the country does not follow up for 6 months after a child returns home. Taylor McPeters also says a lot about the problems come from unskilled and unlicensed workers within the system. Not enough employees or overworked has drawn the foster care system very thin. Financially speaking, adequate costs to oversee all of the children. Chloe Washburn is a loving foster parent who has been in the system for almost a year. She had to go through numerous parenting classes, CPR, home visits, and many more hurdles to jump. Hours and hours of classes later, she was finally a foster parent. On that same day, Chloe was blessed with 2 children to take care of and hopeful to adopt in the future. The best part about being a foster parent to her is knowing that these 2 children have a safe place to call home. She saw firsthand how overworked and underpaid employees of the state are. They were overwhelmed with the immense caseloads that never stopped coming in. If we were able to pay them a little more and expand the staff, it would help so much. Sometimes reunification with the biological parents can be the worst fate. After all the steps the parents must complete, they still can't be changed. Some people are just unfair to parents and unfit parents and cannot change. We must consider the severity of which a child came from, the mental status of those involved, the children's well-being, and being held in the strictest level of scrutiny. The cost associated with reunification outweighs the cost of adoption. So our grid for testing solutions proposed by the group members is solution 1 is intense screening of parents to determine the reunification success. The cost is no additional cost. It is feasible because screening options are already in place. Some potential negative consequences include parents who are deemed very unlikely to be permanently safe and improve. Time is approximately 1 to 2 months. Resources available are just current resources still in effect today. It is going to be effective. The public acceptance may not be appealing to the public. Those within the foster care will be the ones in favor of this solution. A second solution to all of these issues is screening to determine if children require permanent removal to fully heal mentally, physically, emotionally from the neglect or abuse. This solution, again, has no additional cost. It is feasible. Some screening is already in place for this. Potential negative consequences are children will be removed permanently, may have improved with their birth homes, eventually. Time is, again, approximately 1 to 2 months. Resources available are, again, current resources, and it will be effective. The public acceptance, we believe this will be acceptable to the majority of the public. And our final solution to this issue is better funding through a backpack policy. Again, this one has no additional cost. It will be feasible, no negative consequences, and the time will be immediate. The resources available are that we do not have enough resources, however, a better use of what there is available, and focusing on funding is basically what you would need for the third solution. If we're able to help with the funding, then it will be effective. We believe this will be acceptable to the majority. Pause it.